to use it yet. They didn't really know the power of it. So right now, we're in that stage where the technology is here, and we've got teachers in the former generation that are really, really proficient at teaching without the technology. And then we have students coming up who are digital natives who already know how to use so many of the things that the teachers don't. So what happens in this situation? We learn, we adapt, and then here now we have something that's powered completely without the sails.
That's not the Titanic, is it?
No, it's a Mississippi River boat. So where are we going in education? Are we going to lose that human interaction? I hope not. I hope we remember how to sail without, if we unplug, we still know how to teach. That we don't just rely on technology for everything. That we can learn without it. But it's so much more effective with technology. There's so much more we can do and learn with our kids. So many wonderful resources. As technology begins to be implemented, some things are changing. What can we do in the classroom that was never possible before? Well, with math, we can use real-world data. We don't have to just calculate everything by hand. We can go out and we can find information, real-world information, and make the learning so much more meaningful. What's the role of the teacher? The role of the teacher is changing. And as a school system, we have to adapt to those changes so we can be more effective and more efficient with our students. Should our students and teachers be producers and wise consumers of technology? So there are those who sit and are passive with the technology and can allow the technology to have an effect on them, but it may not be the desired effect. Maybe they become so that they cannot function without the technology. So we need to look at all of those possible things. What kids are coming to school with on their devices. All of these things need to be considered. We want our students to be able to make videos, not just watch them. We want them to communicate with the technology, not just be passive. How can we use technology to make learning more effective and efficient and focusing on active learning? Here is where the rubber meets the road. SAT scores. Those SAT scores. Welcome. Would you pick up a blue responder so you can, people who are just coming in, so you can also join in our survey that we're going to do. As I said before, I recommended, we have PTO, and I think PTA is a wonderful organization. And look at Cherokee. Cherokee has PTA. And just an idea there. And here are our scores. So it used to be that we were the top in the state. We're still near the top, but we don't want to we want to go back to being top in the state. We want to even be more than that, because the state overall is compared to national averages, it's not that high. So we have some competition out there, and it's not just other schools in Georgia; it's in the whole world. So we really need to focus on having our kids do better on these tests. I think that's important. What do you think?
How?
The teacher, the parents, the students. What is it?
I will ask how again. So Mary, what will you be doing that's going to make a difference? What are your proposals to make it? Because I think we're all in violent agreement. I haven't heard anybody disagree. And that's bad, because if nobody disagrees, then we know we haven't said something that's not obvious that somebody will go and fight for or vote for.
Okay.
Just feedback
It's-
from a friendly source, not a hostile source.
It's simple.
Do we
Have great
spend more money?
teachers.
Do you spend more money on teachers?
Right now,
Do we fire
that's,
teachers?
we're competing with other school districts for the best teachers.
Mhm.
And right now, the economy is the way it is. There's not a lot of movement. Teachers are where they are. And
So we can't get that.
there are so many things that go into this, but we want to look at everything to try and improve everything. But research shows that it's the teacher, so what are we going to do about that? Research shows that it's the student, and it's the parents, and it's the community. We need to work on all of those at the same time.
What's the roadmap for that work? I mean,
Effective, knowing what works in the
I
classroom.
think the 800-pound
Looking
gorilla
at
in the room
research.
is the budget, because everything that you're alluding to, either more technology or experts teaching it, more teachers for gifted, incentives, monetary incentives to draw higher caliber teachers in. It all gets down to money, and we're facing a $20 million bogey going into next year. So
Right.
part and parcel to achieving any of this, in fact, really just maintaining the status quo, is getting over the $20 million hump.
We have our work cut out for us.
So, I think why I'm here, and I'll try not to be hostile, I'm here to find out what you plan on doing to facilitate that. What ideas do you have that we can point at that says, Mary Kay says we can do this and save this amount of money. Because all I've heard you say so far is more expenses. All these things, we all agree our teachers don't get paid well enough. All of us agree on that.
Well,
We would love
I
to be able to
didn't
pay
really-
them more, but our
I
property.
didn't say teachers don't get paid well enough.
Oh,
I didn't say more
sorry.
expenses. I said that our teachers are our most important resource.
Right. And how do we keep them?
We need to make sure that they are supported in the classroom. And I'm not talking about just with money, because that's why I'm talking about PTA. PTA with national training in parent and teacher relationships. Parents in the classroom helping. Parents helping at home. Students doing their best. It's a whole effort. And you can't just throw money at it and say, oh, because I would have this money, we're going to have great teachers. It's not that easy. If it were that easy, the teachers in Newark, New Jersey wouldn't be making six figures with the lowest scores
But
possible.
let's say the PTA solution brings us up to a par or just over Cherokee County in the SAT scores, and they didn't cost us a nickel. How are we going to get to the $20 million deficit?
We need to look at the budget. We need to look at everything in the budget, and we need to start from scratch and find out what we need and what we don't need. Because I'm sure, as I look at this, there are things in this budget that we can look at, because that's our responsibility.
I know we've got something like 85 to 90% of the bucks and people, and the majority of those are probably in the classroom. If you don't touch that, are you going to be able to achieve that $20 million or bridge that gap? And if the answer is no, then in addition to some of the other measures, what aspects of classroom personnel would you put on the table? We've got 6.1 schools, elementary schools worth of excess capacity. Should we close some of those? Should we sell some of those to take some of that burden off of us? Even doing that, you're probably looking at, saving maybe the most $4 million a year, and you've got 16 to go. There's some big pieces to this puzzle that the board, and I think